Why, hello. Sorry. Hey guys, this is Noah coming at you from Grace Point Student Ministries, filming here in Common Ground. And I gotta tell you, it's, first of all, it's really hot in here. Second of all, it's really lonely. When no one's here, it's quiet and lame. And all this to say, I'm excited for you guys to come out this Sunday for youth group from 6 to 8 p.m. Please make sure to come on out. I'm really excited for what we're going to cover in this new series that we'll be going through for the next several weeks. But before we talk about that and kind of highlight that piece, there is one thing I want to let you know about, and it's our first official trip as a group. And are you ready for it? I drum roll. I don't have anything to drum on, so I'm drumming on my belly. It's Cedar Point. All right, we are headed to Cedar Point on August 13th. So mark it on your calendars. August 13th. It's an all-day event. So please make sure to register. Go online. Either click on the link down below in the description or go to our website, Grace Point Church's website, and go to the events page and register online because this isn't something you're going to want to miss. We're going to have a great time sweating it out in lines, eating greasy food, going on rides and praying that we don't throw up. But most importantly, we're going to be having a great time just building intentional relationships with one another. And I'm really looking forward to it. So it's an all-day event. Make sure to read through the information. Have your parents register you. Parents, this is your moment. Make sure to register. And then also after you register and pay, there will be a follow-up email that will come your way with the same information in the description. But make sure to scroll all the way down towards the bottom of the email. There will be a link to what is called our 1-year permission slip. And that is just a permission form that will cover the rest of our trips and events for this year. And we'll do it again the following year. So make sure to sign up for that. That will get you guys locked and loaded for this registration for Cedar Point. Now the cost is $46. If that's kind of tight, and that's the group rate for what it costs for a group of like 10 or 15 or more in the state of Michigan through Cedar Point's website. If $46 is too much, or if you can't afford food, or maybe it's a D, all of the above, and I didn't even list the third option. Don't worry about it. So if you need financial assistance, let us know. We don't want money to be what hinders you from going on this trip. It's going to be a blast, and we want to be there together as a family. So let us know if you need any help. If you're confused about the registration, contact me. We'll go from there, and let's get ready to have a fun time on August 13th at Cedar Point. Yes. Okay. Anywho, the other thing that I'm really excited about. So we've got youth group this Sunday night. Be ready. Our series that we're covering for the next several weeks is going to be built upon what we talked about a week ago. If you remember, when we covered Jesus's parable of the foundations of the wise man who built his house on the rock and the foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the idea is that our foundation matters. Do you guys remember that old fable of like the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf? And, he's over here going, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And the pigs are going, not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin. I need help. Anywho, and so he blows down the straw and the sticks, and then the brick, it holds firm, and he like exhausts himself. If you remember, we were talking about how Matt Chandler once said that for the man who built his house on the rock and the man who built his house on the sand, the storms came to both individuals. We can't ignore that. But the foundation matters. Could you imagine if this building was built like with straw or paper? We wouldn't have a youth building. It'd be sad. But instead we have like these steel risers and cinder blocks and this strong foundation that this is built on. Now, I've seen houses where the foundation is old and it's moving. Eric and I just looked at a house that was built in the 1800s, and the foundation is getting a little older. And so like as you're walking, you're kind of like, it's like you're moving up and down because the floor isn't even. And I've even seen buildings that actually are sinking into the ground because the foundation is weak. It's very telling in my life as I've watched several friends, family members, acquaintances who at one point were so passionate for God. At least it seemed like that. But then things fell apart. Finances got hard. Marriage got hard. Relationships got hard. Jobs crumbled. List it off, guys, just like we were talking about last week. And I've seen celebrities, friends, people that have been close to me basically walk away. And if you understand your doctrine, and we're going to cover this in 1 John 2, John says they left us because they weren't ever of us. If they were of us, they wouldn't have left us. It's this doctrine of eternal security, and we're going to talk about that. However, the idea is this. Well, what is our foundation built on? Before we can figure out who we are as a youth group, we need to figure out who we are individually and what our foundation is on. And so here we are going to cover a big study through the book of 1 John. And what John is doing is he's encouraging a church that is struggling to say, is my faith really my faith? And so if you are a kid, which if you're a student watching this, yes, that's you. If you are a student and you are struggling with your understanding of the gospel, this series is for you. If you're a student and you're struggling with the assurance of your salvation, you're having a moment where you're like, am I really saved? Or what if this isn't real? Or you're having doubts in your life, or even moments where you're like, could God really love me? This series is for you. I'll take this one step further. If there is blood pulsing through your veins, if there is oxygen coming into your lungs and filling you, basically, if you ain't dead, this series is for you. Because like I said, before we can do anything else, before we can dive into some other doctrinal pieces that I'm really excited for, we need to know that we know that we know that we belong to Jesus. And that is why we are going to dig in as a common ground youth group, Grace Point Student Ministries, figuring out what is our foundation. We'll see you then.